So I'm a little confused. Is like every tango the same, or is it just like improv on the spot?
No, no tango is ever the same. So we had a constructed routine because it was a set performance, but at a milonga, the man is the leader. So he decides where the dance will go and the woman's there to follow. So that's why establishing this really clear connection and for the man to really communicate his embrace and his movement to her, that's why it's so important.
Do you have any role models for tango that you sort of look to over the year?
I think my biggest role model was my teacher. I just worked so closely with her and she was so open to my whole idea, and she really, I want to give a big thank you to her for really constructing this routine the way I imagined it. And before, I had no idea how to dance the tango, but everything just fits so well. So just a big thank you to her.
Yeah. How is learning the tango different from learning another type of dance that you've done?
I think there's just less structure. Oh, there is, but during the classes, for example, the teacher would teach us a set of steps, and then she would turn on the music and say, okay, so to the men especially, lead the woman anywhere you want, do any step you want, and we're there to follow. So I think that element is different as opposed to ballroom dancing, where even the framework is completely different. You're just set in stone of where you are, and you have to dance the whole way through. But here, it could go any way. Yeah.
When two people are sort of freestyle tango dancing, how does the leader prompt their partner to make the next move? Like, how do they know what to do? Is there a sort of gesture or signal to give, or is it just?
Yeah. So he communicates through his frame. So, for example, I had a moment where I was dancing with somebody at the studio, and, for example, a certain movement of the shoulder tells me that, oh, I need to go here. But he actually meant a different step, and because he did this sort of movement, I assumed it's the steps, if you get what I mean. They're just the way the movement of the arms and the shoulders, the woman can tell which direction the man wants her to go. Does he want her to go back, forward, side? It's just, you know, the slight movement that is needed. Yeah.
What do you love about dancing?
First, I just love the idea of just getting up and doing something physical. I love the community. I met a lot of great friends. When I first started dancing, I think that was a really big thing. And just being able to shut off from talking and just be able to really be in the moment and focus on something else, because we focus so much on talking to everybody, what we say, how we speak, but here none of that is needed. Yeah.
What was the biggest challenge that you encountered in your process?
I think constructing the routine. First, finding the song. It was difficult. My teacher opened up her computer and said, which one do you want? And I had no idea. And I was worried about everything coming together. And also a challenging part is knowing that I would have somebody to dance with. But thank you, Gerard. Otherwise, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to dance today. So that was definitely the most challenging, but everything worked out. Yeah?
Me?
Yeah.
I was just really good job, but I was just wondering, like, when you started choreographing this exact dance.
We started late March, maybe? Shishon.
Were there any types of dance that you want to do in the future having for a dance?
Maybe some swing. I've never done that. Maybe do some more salsa. I've only done maybe one lesson of salsa. And that would be cool. Paige?
Talk about the storyline and choreography and sort of how that comes in.
So like I said, it just came to me. Like actually, I had no more to explain. I was choosing my topic and I had this vision. I think this is a common theme. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere before, and I really wanted to do it. I didn't want to just do a simple routine, but I really wanted to create a storyline. And I think this also goes back to me being a theater kid. I wanted to make it as big and as grand as I could. And after I got the idea, I really worked hard to find the music that would work. Like I started out with a different song, and I didn't like it at all. Then I found this song, and this fits so well. I just slowly found the right props. My teacher helped construct the routine, and it just all worked, and we worked together. There were some moves that I said, I don't want this. I want it to be more dramatic. I want it to be in this theme. And she's like, yes, of course, we can do this, we can do that. Yeah, Jake?
So how did you go about meeting your partner, and how did you choose to work with each other?
Yeah, so Gerard was in the studio before me, and we were taking the same classes, and we were dancing together a lot. In the studio, we changed partners, but we just worked well together, and I just came up to him and asked, do you want to help me with my project? And he was really all in. Yeah. David?
So I understand that you worked really, really hard on choreographing this dance, but is there like a clear emotional divide between like when you go to the manga, what's it called? Milonga. And like improv the dance, or if you're following a set timeline, like do you feel like, is it more emotional when you're doing it improv, like doing improvisational tango, or is it similar either way?
I don't know, for me, this feels more emotional, because improv, at least at the level I was, because I'm still working on my tangos, it felt a bit all over the place. I was also trying to figure out what my partner was doing. Is he doing this step or that? How well I can do the steps. And it's just a learning process. I'm sure if I continue, it will get a lot smoother and better. Yeah.
In tango culture or ballroom culture in general, are there any people who are kind of challenging the patriarchy? Are there any women who want to lead, or women who dance with women, or men who dance with men? Is this a thing, or is it just not a factor in tango culture?
It is a thing. There is queer tango where the roles are reversed, or there are no roles. So a woman can freely lead a man, and men can dance together, women can dance together. Even at my studio, I was a leader for a day. It was fine. One time we had less men and more women. A woman was leading, and it's absolutely fine. I also read an article where 2 women were at a milonga. I believe they were just straight women. And there weren't enough partners, so they were like, let's dance. They decided who's going to be the leader, who's going to be the follower, and they just danced, and it's absolutely accepted, and you're free to do that.
Could you talk a little bit more about how One Perone used the tango? You kind of just brushed on that, but that sounds very interesting.
I didn't look too far into it, because I was more focused on my dance, but I just wanted to give some history, but I didn't research far. Yes?
On the theme of like switching partners, switching roles, how hard is it to switch between leader and follower?
A little bit difficult because, for example, when I was leader for a day, I had to learn the leader's steps. It feels strange, but it worked. And also at my volunteering, I was the man most of the time because there were mainly women at my volunteer center who took the class, and so I had to lead them. It felt fun. It just depends on the person.
I'll take one more question.
Okay, yeah.
How long have you been dancing, and when and how did you learn about the Argentine tango?
So I've been doing ballroom dancing for 7 years. I quit a few years ago, and I started Argentine tango in November.
But how did you learn about it?
Oh, I think my first exposure to Argentine tango was on So You Think You Can Dance. I'm sure some of you have heard that show. I saw it perform there, and I was just mesmerized. I was like, wow, I want to do that one day. And that's how I came. Because my original ballroom dance studio did not offer Argentine tango lessons. It's a less traditional style. So I never heard of it before. But So You Think You Can Dance introduced me to it.